Yeah. Well, and so as many of you probably know, Marty recently, it was one of the top 10 articles clicked on in Rental Pulse this year. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Marty recently sold to Sunbelt. And talk us through that and how your peer group kind of walked you through that a little bit, or maybe helped you decide in that process.
Well, again, like everything you bring up, your things that are happening in your business, you bring up with your peers, and you talk about everything, which is really cool to have like-minded individuals, same industries, and they bring up questions and challenge you with things. Maybe you don't want to talk about certain stuff, but they make you.
Right.
And so that was really good. And then it was really cool is at the one meeting, I was actually at my meeting and I got my call from my broker and I go running off to go answer my phone call.
I remember so that. That was great, right?
Yeah, so you're right there with me from the start.
Welcome to Peer Talk, a dialogue with business owners just like you. Peer Talk conversations run the gamut of business challenges facing owners today. The host of Peer Talk is Dan Crowley, founder and owner of Peer Executive Groups, which provides a safe space for owners to share their experience, grow their businesses, and learn from their peers.
Hi, this is Dan Crowley. We have a number of great owners in our peer group network, just like you, and our job is to give you a voice here on Peer Talk.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Labor IQ. Do you need to quickly and confidently understand current and future compensation for your teams? Peer Executive Groups is pleased to introduce Labor IQ, a leading software providing fast answers for today's compensation requirements, salary benchmarking, employee retention, and job market forecasts for every metro area in the U.S. Labor IQ can be contacted at info@laboriq.co or by phone at 972-961-4400.
We have a very special edition of Peer Talk today regarding the ARA show, which recently took place down in Orlando, Florida. We had a number of members and vendor partners stop by the booth. Let's hear what they had to say.
Good morning, this is Charlie with Peer Executive Groups. I'm with Don Tennis from Ed's Rental and Sales in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Don is one of our rookie members this year, just joined the Rat Bag group. And Don, tell me a little bit about why you were looking to join a peer group and kind of what it's meant for you and your business.
Yeah, so I've been in rental about 30 years or so, and I've heard a lot of good things about peer groups. I know some people that have been in them, and I always kind of looked forward to it, but didn't really have a real good idea how to do it. And then the opportunity came up. Our business is in a little bit of a transition. We've got 3 stores, and we had all 3 of our store managers either retire or move on in this past year. And so a little bit of a new time, we could bring in some fresh ideas. So
nice.
That's why I joined.
Good. And what's your favorite part about being in a peer group?
Just to get to know the great people. Just a lot of rental experience and just to bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, it's great having that group of people that you can call on when you've got a question about something, even though you've been in the business as long as you have.
Right.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning. This is Charlie with Peer Executive Groups. I'm here with Marley and Trip Kane, who just recently this year joined the Pinnacle Group. And they just, when we were at Talking Stick, the Meeting of the Minds, they just had their first in-person meeting. And Marley, tell me a little bit about why you looked to join a peer group.
Looked into it, and it was recommended by several friends and other rental businesses, and it was highly encouraged. And we're just looking for ways to improve ourselves, improve our business, especially with my father transitioning on the way out to retirement. And so I just feel like I need to know the business inside and out and just looking for ways to improve.
Yeah, well, and that's interesting that you say transition, because I feel like that's kind of our sweet spot within Peer Executive Groups, is those businesses that are maybe going from one generation to the next or one owner to another. That's definitely a point that having people to bounce ideas off of and talk to that have been through it in the past definitely can help you out a lot. So you just had your first in-person meeting. What was your biggest takeaway from that meeting, or what did you enjoy about that meeting the most?
We talked about a lot of working in the business and working on the business and trying to work on our management positions and leadership and just kind of shifting those responsibilities from ourselves, from working in the business, to delegating those duties and trying to find our leaders and our employees so that we can be focusing more on the business
There
and the
you go.
future
That's
of the
great.
company.
That's good. Well, and especially if you have those people that you can delegate that to, right?
Yes,
That's a big help.
yes. So that's something I definitely need to work on.
So, Trip, joining the peer executive groups, was that your idea or was that Marley's idea?
That was definitely Marley's idea. But
So what have
been
you
good.
gotten out of it?
It's given us a better grasp of our numbers, which I needed. So overall, it's been a good experience.
Good. Well, and this spring, you guys will go through your first kind of exposure to the composite book, so you'll get to see your numbers next to everybody else's in your group, and that'll be a huge help for
Sure.
you guys being able to see how you compare to other people in the industry.
Yeah.
So we're here at the ARA show. We're standing in the Bobcat booth. What have you guys been walking around looking at, or did you find anything cool and new that you're going to take home?
We're just about wrapped up for this show, but between party and equipment, it's been a full 2 days, but we've restocked on a lot of equipment. So overall, it's been a good show.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I appreciate you guys taking a minute to talk with me, and we look forward to hearing you in the podcast here in the coming weeks. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks
All right,
so
thank
much.
you.
Good morning. This is Charlie with Peer Executive Groups. I'm here with Marty Lieber from George's Tool Rental. Marty has been in the Rat Bag Peer Group for about 6 years now, and she's a often contributor to that group, and we really appreciate her being in that group. And Marty, tell me a little bit about your peer group experience and what you like about being in the Rat Bag group.
So, hey Charlie, how are you?
I'm good.
So my Rat Bag group is amazing. Love them. They've become my family, really good friends, and have helped me through some, tough times, some years where you just really feel alone. They're there to, help support and guide you along with equipment purchases, ideas, and employee issues, whatever. Yeah, it's really
well, and
helpful.
I've got two things now that I think about it that we've really kind of helped you through in your process. And one, going back a number of years, was when you had 3 stores and you had to make the decision, was it appropriate to leave the 3rd store open or not? And I remember in our meetings talking through that with you. Tell me a little bit about how your peer group helped you make that decision and how that maybe made you feel more confident in the decision that you were making.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think when you look at my numbers of that store, it didn't make sense to close it because number-wise, it was profitable and everything. And I think that what your peers do is they ask a lot of questions and they make you think of things maybe that you weren't thinking about. But ultimately, I did end up closing that store. I don't know that everybody agreed with that, but it was more for my mental health. As it was more to a store opening or closing than just numbers and dollars.
Yeah.
It's also what toll it takes on you.
Yeah,
So-
and your employees also, right? Like we think
Correct.
so much about the business owner and their work-life balance, but we also have to be aware of that with our employees,
Right.
and especially now when it's so difficult to find employees and maybe the compensation that they're getting isn't necessarily the most important thing
Correct.
for some of our people. That's a good point to make,
Yeah.
especially
And so
in this labor market.
And in that case, what really was amazing was closing the store. My top and bottom line actually went up,
Yeah.
which makes 0 sense. But
Right.
It did.
But it
so
did.
we're happy about that.
Yeah. Well, and so as many of you probably know, Marty recently, it was one of the top 10 articles clicked on in
Yeah, how
the
about
Rental
that?
Pulse this year. So that was pretty cool.
2022,
Marty recently sold to Sunbelt. And talk us through that and how your peer group kind of walked you through that a little bit, or
Yeah.
maybe helped you decide in that process.
Well, again, like everything you bring up, your things that are happening in your business, you bring up with your peers, and you talk about everything, which is really cool to have like-minded individuals, same industries, and they bring up questions and challenge you with things. Maybe you don't want to talk about certain stuff, but they make you.
Right?
And so that was really good. And then it was really cool is at the one meeting, I was actually at my meeting and I got my call from my broker and I go running off to go answer my
Right.
phone
I
call.
remember
So
that. That was great, right?
Yeah, so you're right there
Yeah.
with me from the start.
So now that you're sold and you've got that giant bank account with all that Sunbelt money sitting in it, what are you doing? And I know that we're here together at the ARA show. Is this your last one? Or are you going to stay active in the industry?
Yeah.
Tell us more about what you're going to do in your, I don't want to call it retirement, but
Yeah.
not owning a rental business anymore.
So that's challenging. I've been in rental since I was 7, And so to just walk away, and like I said, this peer group, these guys are my friends and my family. Just to walk away from all of that is, I was going to say it's hard. It's like, to me, it feels impossible. Being here, this is my life.
Right. Well, and it's energizing. Like seeing these people and walking around and stuff is really kind of recharges your batteries a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I found some really neat things. A fellow store owner asked me to mentor him, which is totally cool.
That's awesome.
And then also a vendor asked me to do some consulting for them. So that's really cool.
Great.
So I have some other ideas in my head that I'm working on, and I'm seeing how I can use my time and my resources, and then also bring that back to
good.
To help others.
Well, I'm excited to see how you stay active in the industry, and we'll definitely keep an eye out and see what happens next for Marty.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining me today, Marty.
Thanks, Charlie.
You bet.
So this is Dan Crowley here at the ARA show in Orlando, and I'm with member Terry Trusnicks from Aid Rentals. Terry, how's the show going today?
Really well. It's fun from the retired guy's side, Dan.
So you say retired. What is something recently happened with you and your business? You've been a long-time member of peer groups?
Yeah, Peer Executive helped me get rid of it and sold it last year after 45 years. So it's been real fun.
Excellent, excellent. We had a great day on Sunday with education, and about half of the content was built around succession and continuation planning, as well as exit planning. Did you hear anything about that or know anything about it?
Didn't hear a bit about it, but you guys were talking to me for a couple of years, and that helped.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we talk about it, the last stage of your business after you move from maturity goes into that end game planning. So with you, what did you see as the biggest motivator for that next step?
Age for me. I was pushing 70, and it was just time to get out.
Excellent. And you had to make a choice between selling to a third party or have continuation planning with children or key employees. What was that like for your business? You had 2 locations in Illinois and Indiana, correct?
Correct. We were in a bag group, which Peer Executive Group helped manage for us, and one of the members of the bag group, who knew all of my numbers, wanted the stores. So that worked out really great. It was pretty much a seamless deal.
That's a very unique approach. I do know that you had a lot of concerns about that, because if you sell to a third party, do you have concerns about the legacy of your company and your employees?
No, because the guy that I sold to is as straight up and first class as I could ever imagine. So I wasn't worried at all.
All right, so you're moving on. So what's the biggest thing you're going to miss from your peer group experience with all of your friends in your peer group?
Well, they get to be more than just a peer group. They're really family, and I'm going to miss that. You know, it's that's why I'm here, just giving a lot of hugs out, you know.
Dynamite. Well, we appreciate your time, and by all means, you're always welcome, and we're ready for you to take over facilitation whenever you are.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
All right, the ARA show in Orlando. We are here with Haley Berner. Haley is from Rayburn Rentals and has been a long-time peer group member. How you doing today, Haley?
Doing good. Excited to be here.
Haley, what do you like about this show? I know I see you at a number of shows. Is it the booths on the trade show floor? Is it getting together with your peers and other individuals and people?
It's always good getting to see everybody, and it's really exciting getting to see the future of the technology of the equipment, and it's a good event that I like.
But no interest catching up with other rental operators and seeing what their business is like?
No, absolutely. I love being able to see my peers, and I'm always happy to see them anywhere I can.
Excellent. You opened up, have you opened in Lubbock, Texas?
No, not yet. We are looking at an early March opening date.
Excellent. And some information on that. Is it a big store versus any of your other ones? What's it look like?
It'll be our biggest store. It'll be basically our flagship store that we're going to look to show off to people. I can't remember how many square footage it is, but we're very excited. We're excited to see how the new market will do down there.
So now you're in multi-sites over multiple markets. How do you get the word out about your business? Are you going to be leading the charge on some of the marketing?
Yes, I'll do most of the marketing. Right now, we've started doing YouTube commercials, and one of the silliest things I do, but we see a lot of return on our investment in, is we sponsor golf scorecards. Just because that's mainly our target market, those people going golfing, and Facebook, all kinds of social media, and probably a little bit of TV too. Excellent.
Wow. So obviously that means you got to get a lot of content out there, kind of sell who Rayburn is all about, right? What do you consider as your biggest strength of Rayburn?
Our biggest strength is our people. Everyone is happy to be there, and we take a very strong pride in knowing that we are a family-run business, and we treat our Rayburn family as well as we treat our real family, and that's our main priority.
So it's pretty well known throughout the industry that you guys are pretty much tops when it comes to company culture and really getting employees excited as well as recruits excited about working there. Do you feel like your annual crawfish boil contributes to that?
Absolutely, I do.
Tell us about the crawfish boil.
It's our main customer appreciation event. It's every year in May. We get everything shipped in from South Louisiana, crawfish, shrimp, boudin, all the good stuff. And it's a big event. I think last year we had a little over 2,000 people.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's vendors as well as customers?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I enjoy it every time I come. Well, we appreciate you, Haley, and you are now in the Rental Experts Group, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. One of the leader groups here with Peer Executive Groups. Haley, have a great show. We enjoyed speaking with you.
Absolutely. It's good to see you.
This is Dan Crowley from Peer Executive Groups, and we are live at the ARA show right now. And right now I'm with Katrina Magby from Georgia. Sorry about that.
From Rent the Occasion.
Nice. Rent the Occasion. And we are with the Apex members. So real quick here, tell me what you're hoping to get out. Have you looked at any products, something exciting for you at the show today?
Flooring. We're looking for a new tent and some more chairs. That was it.
Excellent. And but other than that, you feel like this has been a good show so far?
Yeah, absolutely. My highlight, Damon John. Big fan of his. Love him.
Damon John's speech was record-breaking. It was awesome. Loved it. For any entrepreneur out there looking to start a business, can't say enough about that speech. Outstanding.
Events U was also awesome, too.
Good. And Events U, so what was that like? That was on Saturday?
Yes, and various classes just pertaining to the event industry, branding, just getting yourself out there, thinking in different strategies, and it was really good. I have a lot to take home.
Nice. So homework for the peer group members here. So we also have a newest member, Chris Epps. Chris, say hello.
Hello.
So Chris, you are located in Charlotte, North Carolina? Correct. Okay. And you joined peer groups. What do you think? What's one of the motivators that made you want to spend this money?
I want to be around like-minded people and people in the industry.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you'll get that. So Chris is actually meeting his group for the first time here at the booth here at the ARA show floor. Ruth Bloom is one of our longtime facilitators. Ruth, you want to step up to the mic real quick?
Hi, everyone. Great to be at the show with Dan.
Oh, boy. And Ruth, why don't you tell us about your 3 groups that you have?
So I have 3 groups. The Apex group, we have 3 of the 7 members here with us right now. They're my newest group, and I got to start them from scratch. So they've been working very hard on implementing EOS, so that's great. My second group is named Event, which tells you everything you need to know about their inventory. And I've been with them for about 3 years. They are my southern group, and we have a lot of fun visiting different cities in the winter in the south, so that's good. They're a group that they really like to talk operations, and so that's a focus of every meeting. And then my third group is called Rentalosis, and it's kind of a eclectic mixed bag is what I would say, because members in that group usually have more than one kind of inventory. So they've been together 3 years too.
Excellent, excellent. And Apex is here, and where's Apex's next meeting?
We'll be meeting in Charleston at the end of March.
Wow, so Charleston, we have Chris here from Charlotte, we have Katrina here from Lawrenceville, Georgia, and the chairperson of the group is Brendan Blood, and he is in White River Junction, Vermont. Brendan is working with Tony Magby, otherwise we put him on the line right now. So love to see these groups get together and they gather around our booth and catch up. A number of meetings have happened in the concession areas and upstairs in the lobby. So if you are a peer group member, definitely reach out to us and we'll connect you in while you're on this trip. But great job by the ARA. I have to say, probably one of my favorite shows since I've been coming to these, and I'm excited about the future and certainly the specialties that ARA has been bringing to us. So great. Talk to you soon. Dan Crowley here at the ARA show day 2, and we have a special guest with us from the vendor side of the Peer Executive Group world. We have Ami Kassar from Multifunding. Ami, you've made it down to the show. How do you feel about this show here?
Glad to be here. Lots of activity, lots of peeps on the floor, lots of interesting equipment, lots going on.
Excellent. So we've had success with you, with our members. I think we've probably been able to help them with somewhere between $22 and $28 million over the last couple of years. How do you see the change in interest rates impacting your ability to get that money into the hands of our rental members?
It's all about the business case. What I always encourage owners to do is, when you're looking at financing, concentrate on the cash flow. What's your monthly payment going to be? Now, interest rates are up above the board, and they will be for some time until they start to go down again. But instead of concentrating on rate, concentrate on that monthly payment and try structure your financing to give you the most flexibility as you possibly can.
Excellent. Okay, well, that's good information. When you're working with rental operators, are you doing work on the sell side of the business, or are you working on the buy side to help with acquisition financing, things like that?
Well, we kind of work across the board. A lot of our work recently is on the buy side. So if you're going to buy a business, we'll help with them. And oftentimes, we also do a lot of advising when someone is trying to sell to this next generation or to some key employees. And we help figure out how to structure that in the most optimum way so that everyone's happy.
Excellent. So process-wise, a member needs to determine whether he's going to finance succession, finance an acquisition, however it might work. What's the best way to for them to connect with you guys?
Reach out to us. Our key contact is Fran Miller on my team for the Peer Executive Groups. And we just want to hear your story, what you're trying to accomplish. And then we'll start to give you a general outline of different ways it could be done. And then the devil's in the details. So we're going to ask for some financials. We're going to review them. And then we're going to help you make a game plan.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate Fran. Fran has worked with the industry, rental industry now for 2-3 years, and he really has learned quite a bit and it's been very helpful to our members, whether he's able to get them loans or help them with other solutions. So thanks for your time, Ami, and looking forward to seeing you around the floor.
Glad to be here with you, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Labor IQ. Do you need to quickly and confidently understand current and future compensation for your teams? Peer Executive Groups is pleased to introduce Labor IQ, a leading software providing fast answers for today's compensation requirements, salary benchmarking, employee retention, and job market forecasts for every metro area in the U.S. You've been listening to Peer Talk from Peer Executive Groups, produced and directed by Noah Crowley and hosted by Dan Crowley. Subscribe to this podcast for notifications of future episodes of Peer Talk.